Fire. I think we are all set here. Check YouTube. Make sure we're streaming. Connections are solid. We are good to fucking go. All right, we'll just get started right now. We'll let people trickle in here. But guys, everyone who is watching this and it is live, thank you so much for being here. If it's not live, you are here for the Joyage Kingdom episode 71 with the co-founders of Cryptoon Goonz. We have Sean and Joel here. This is going to be lit. I'm super excited. All three of us. We're doing a group podcast. We're talking about all the things NFTs. I'm sure we'll talk about some portal stuff. As you guys saw, there was a little bit of a leak there in the thumbnail. So shout out you guys for that. That was really cool. I've been excited, bro. That freaking. We're gonna play that. We're gonna play that clip. The little trailer that you guys had of the portal where he's like, oh my god, that was so lit. That was terrific. So, anyways, thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us. We're super excited to be here.
Hell yeah, right on. Well, listen, I just want to quickly get a little bit of background info because I just don't know too much about you guys. So I'd love to know how. Well, I guess when I interviewed the Betty from Deadfellas, she told me that I think like one of the very first intros to NFTs was when they dropped their project, and to me that was fucking mind boggling. So I wanted to know, like, were you guys already involved in NFTs? Have you all been looking at this stuff, or how did that start?
Yeah, I'll kind of get started, and then I can kind of hand it off to Sean a little bit because that's kind of how it all started. To be completely honest.
Okay.
So my introduction to NFTs was actually through NBA Top Shot. I'm not sure how familiar you are with that, Cade, but I'm a huge sports fan, and that was kind of my entry point. I started spending a lot of time on there, just buying moments, selling moments, and that was kind of like the first time I was like, oh, like there's something here. Like this is really neat. I could definitely see this being kind of the future. And I told Sean about it. I was like, hey, man, like this is really cool. Obviously, Sean and I have been best friends since we were in first grade, and I know how talented he is as an artist. And I was like, there might be something here for you, like just kind of like putting it on your radar. And he was like, okay, cool, whatever. And he's, he was a tattoo artist at the time. That's where he was spending all of his time. Time went on, and I continued, kind of in the Top Shot streets, messing around with it. And
wait, what was that even like? What do you mean mess around? Like, was there Discords and stuff, or like what was it like?
Yeah, so no, like the first time I ever stepped foot in a Discord was the Goonz Discord.
No way. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So just kind of like buying and selling moments and getting a little deeper into NFT Twitter, like kind of starting to follow people. And that's where I started to see some of the PFP projects. And then I started to kind of dip my toe in there. I wasn't buying anything, and I hadn't been into any crypto before that. I never bought any crypto. So it was all still very new to me. Like Top Shot was something that I could digest because it was sports and it was kind of like sports cards. So it made sense. Once I got to some of the PFP, like art related stuff, that was a little different and kind of took me a little bit to wrap my head around. And then I ended up wanting to look into potentially purchasing a project. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but I remember I texted Sean. I was like, dude, I'm thinking about buying this. Like, what do you think? And I kind of handed off to Sean from there. And then that's kind of how the Goonz were born.
Yeah, I mean, so before that, I mean, how I got into it was basically Joel messaging me about that whole thing that he was doing with Top Shot and all that and NFTs. Like, he's like, look into it. So I started making like one of one NFTs and just uploading them on the OpenSea contract, just one at a time.
Yeah.
And then, I'm not very good at promoting myself, so it didn't go very well for it. And I just kind of like dropped it, and then the market crashes, it always does, and comes back.
Oh, right.
Kind of gave up. And then when Joel sent me that project he was looking to buy into, and I looked more into it, and then I was like, oh, this is like just kind of layers of different like traits. I didn't realize how it worked before. I thought it was all like hand drawn stuff. Each one was hand drawn.
That shit would have taken so long to make it. Could you imagine doing 10,000 avatars? Essentially, a lot of them are like very, very similar. That would be painful.
Yeah, that's why I was like, there's got to be like 40 people working on this.
Yeah.
So then the more I looked, I was like, I got to look into this now. And I just did a lot of research and kind of figured out how it worked and how to like do the different layers of traits and match them all together. And just
have you done work on electronic, like digital art before too, or were you mainly like drawing on tapestry or like other stuff?
Yeah, not really. I mean, mostly. So I've been tattooing for the last like 12 years.
Oh, right. Fucking
pretty
stupid.
much used to.
But I just didn't know because, like, well, I had dated a girl who was she actually is a tattoo artist. I moved the country to run away, and she follows me to Denver. I'm just kidding, but she is in Denver and she is doing tattoo stuff. Really, really great artist. But she had never really done stuff on an iPad before. Like, I really haven't even heard of people drawing on iPads and shit until NFTs. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing until NFTs. And I met a bunch of artists on like SoulC and stuff through TikTok. But I guess, I mean, a lot of the tattoo artists I see, they just draw on paper, or for like the tattoos I've gotten, that's what they did. But
usually, I mean, that's all I've ever done before. And then when like the iPad Pro came out the first time, like, years ago, my friend worked for Apple and convinced me to buy an iPad. That was the first time I ever like did any digital art, and it took me a while to get used to it. But now I never draw on paper. Like, it's just so easy to draw on an iPad.
Damn, dude, your friends are like in on everything. They just like, yo, Sean, you got to get on this. Like, iPad. Then he's like, yo, NFTs. Like, boom, dubs all day. That's crazy. That's crazy. So so you guys had dropped the Goonz. It's just like a normal chill thing, and then just like randomly, some big time players came in and just like scooped up some. What was that even? How does that happen? Was it just a random? He just happened to see it on OpenSea, someone tweeted it, and also what was it like when that happened for you guys?
Yeah, so just real quick, like just to kind of put a bow on the whole like launching the Goonz, and obviously, you know, Sean did all the art for it. Anytime we kind of talk about this and this backstory, I always feel compelled to mention that Sean also designed the website, and he had never designed a website in his life, and he figured out how to draw up the smart contract, which he had never done in his life. So,
oh my God, okay.
That wasn't from scratch. I just like I used Hashlip's smart contract, but I watched a lot of YouTube videos to figure that out.
Damn, dude,
he was
crazy.
Bent on getting the Goonz to the world, and he persevered through a lot of stuff to make it happen. So I just always feel compelled to say that because I know he'll never give himself that credit.
That is, dude, that is a huge feat right there. What honestly, like, what is researching smart contracts been like? Has that given you a leg up, you feel like, on just in general for perspective, because you know kind of how the shit works on the back end?
Definitely. I mean, because that's, you know, I still don't understand it. That's why we have Jesse.
Yeah.
Just hand that off to him now. And
True.
That was one of the biggest things I was worried about when we started, because it was just me and Joel, and I was like, I don't know how to like do any of this stuff.
It's stressful. Yeah, I've heard it. If you mess it up, fuck. I mean, you deploy that main contract, people start going, and then there's something wrong with it. You're like, oh wait, we can't like. There's no reverse button. There's no Control Z. You're screwed. No. How was Mint Day for y'all? Stressful?
Story, Sean.
It was all like pretty stressful. I mean, at first it was a very slow start because we weren't, you know, we just launched, and then we were like, we'll promote as we go. We're like not trying to take it like too crazy. And I think people just really dug the artwork, and they started joining the Discord, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger. But so one of the things I did wrong was setting up the like the artwork didn't really match the metadata, because it was like .png instead of .jpeg.
Yeah.
So it wasn't revealing when it was revealed.
Oh my God.
And that's how we actually found
Jesse.
We were like searching for someone to fix it, and he's been like huge part of the Goonz since then. It's actually.
How did you meet him?
What's that?
How did y'all meet the dev and like the rest of the people on the team? Is it through Discords?
Yeah, so like Sean said, it was just the two of us when we got started, and you know, full transparency, like we didn't know really anyone in the space. Like we didn't have many people to bounce ideas off and be like, hey, does this look good? Does this make sense? We kind of just said, hey, we're going to launch this. We're going to roll the Discord. I'll run the Twitter, and we'll kind of just learn as we go here. And on eventually, Hodge ended up joining the team just by when I was liking tweets. I just randomly, like I was following people that I had seen before. Like I mentioned, I have a very big like fantasy football sports background. So I'd seen Hodge before on other YouTube streams and followed him for his football content. And I know that kind of in the NFT streets a little bit. So like I would try to like some of those folks' tweets just to get Goonz on their radar, but not spam by any means.
Sure.
And Hodge saw that the Goonz account liked one of his tweets. He hopped in Discord. We started DMing a little bit. He was like, yo, I really vibe with what you guys are doing. It's such a fresh take. You know, it's not a derivative. Like it's something really new and unique. And then we ended up bringing him on board, which was great because at that time, the Goonz account probably had, I don't know, 1,000 followers maybe, and Hodge had 26,000. So, you know, that's big, right?
Yeah.
And he added a ton of value, especially in those early days. He was wearing a lot of hats for us just because Sean and I were still learning a lot. So we were very grateful for him in those early days, kind of helping guide us a little bit. But as far as what Sean was referring to, you know, with the slow mint, and then we had a pre-sale price of 0.04 for folks to mint. We had about 1,500 folks mint, and it was the reveal day. And that's when, as Sean mentioned, things weren't revealing. And we all started. So Sean was freaking out, and I was freaking out because Sean was freaking out. And Hodge went into another Discord, and he was like, "Hey, are there any engineers in here who are familiar with XYZ? You know, and
we need you right now. Now." That's fucking crazy.
Someone in that Discord pinged Jesse, and we ended up spending about. I try not to exaggerate the story. I want to say it was 6 to 8 hours that day on Zoom with Jesse, just kind of walking us through how to fix it and what we can do moving forward. And he was so calm and collected and just like, you know, and obviously, you know, in hindsight, he didn't really have skin in the game. So I can understand why he was a little more calm in that situation. But he just really helped us out. He was a lifesaver on that day. Who knows what would have happened if we didn't find Jesse on that day. And he's been obviously a tremendous help to us continuing to propel the project and kind of our vision forward. But it was the ultimate happy accident that we found Jesse, and then we ended up bringing him on board in the very early days of Goonz. So very grateful for him.
Jeez. Fuck, dude, that would be so scary. That is such a terrifying thing. Yeah, shout out to anyone who's taken the leap to at least try and start an NFT project, because there's way more work than people think. And it's essentially just starting a business. So shout out to anyone who's looking to, you know, be an entrepreneur a little bit and try and change their life or whatever reason people are doing it. But then after this happened, you guys had a pretty chill start. Well, after that, you know, the shit didn't completely go to the shit. Nothing really happened. And then Gary V jumps in, FaZe Banks jumps in. How does that happen?
It's gonna happen, right? I think
like what?
They just saw the project and they were into it, and it was literally like like we didn't have any conversations with these people beforehand or anything like that. We were barely even, you know, like trying to promote any of it. It just kind of promoted itself. It worked out.
Did you guys know about those two? I assume you knew about Gary, but
yeah, definitely knew about Gary. Definitely had heard of FaZe. Didn't realize maybe how deep he was in the NFT streets, but certainly had heard about him. But kind of just to piggyback on how it happened was, you know, we had gotten to about really close to 50% minute out. And, you know, it was going pretty slow. It'd been about like 2-3 weeks. And again, like Sean said, like we were just kind of promoting as we were going. We weren't doing like paid shills or anything like that. We just wanted it to be very organic, and the people who really kind of vibe with the art to be the folks who were buying into it, right? And then I woke up one morning and I had like 6 texts from Sean, and he's like, dude, we're about to sell out. Like, holy shit, we're about to sell out. And I was like, what's going on? And obviously, you know, FaZe, first of all, Deez put out a tweet about us. Deez has been awesome. We did an honorary piece for him that Sean made. He's been a big supporter, and he's just such a great guy. And then so Deez tweeted, and then I think when FaZe saw Deez tweet, FaZe was like, well, if Deez is tweeting, then fuck it. Like, you know, like I'm gonna say something too, and he kind of put it on his IG story. And
because he minted like 10 of them before that, and he never like like we saw.
Oh wait, I did hear about that. He basically didn't say anything at first, and then was like, okay.
FaZe tweeted, but it was a reply, so it wasn't on his main timeline. Right. So obviously we woke up, and you know, those two folks, you know, who backed the project and had kind things to say about the art and what we were building. Obviously helped us take off, and we went from 50% minted to 100% minted overnight. Truly,
Wow.
it was pretty crazy.
I watched it. I was like watching it in real time. I woke up early and I was setting up a playlist on Discord, and I saw someone on Discord like, "What the shit? Like, shit's selling out." And I was like, "What?" I was looking into it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, I'm watching all the numbers go like right from the start, and I'm trying to. Everybody's asleep, so I'm texting everybody on the team like, "You guys gotta wake up!"
Wake the fuck up.
It's
That's so
happening.
funny.
Yeah, it was
Oh
wild.
my god. Damn. So yeah, what was that day like after it happened? And then you're like, oh my god, like we sold out, and I guess everyone kind of freaked out for a little bit. Then what was it? Just like, all right, well, uh, like what happened? What was the rest of the day like? Do you remember?
I remember we got on the like a voice chat on Discord with everyone that was like there from the beginning, and that was really cool.
Wow.
Chilling with everybody. Everybody's super stoked. And then it was like, yeah, now we gotta start building, you know? Like,
I was in a car that I think either that night or the following morning driving, 4 hours to see Sean and go meet up with Drew, who now is a huge part of our team. He does a lot of the partnerships and apparel for us.
Cool.
So I went to go see the print shop and talk about apparel. But literally, like we minted out, we celebrated for about a half hour, and then it was like, all right, like it's fucking grind time. Like we got stuff to do. So
that is great. Wow, holy shit! That was a long time ago, because that was what, August, something like that. September,
October.
Wait, what? It was that? Wait, I thought it was way earlier than that.
Nah, we launched. I think we
started in October, and I think we sold out in like end of
November. It started in October. Okay,
yeah.
October. Yeah. At what point in the market was that? Were we looking good? Was it a bunch of derivatives? Like, what was going on? Do you remember in the NFT space?
Yeah, I think overall the market was pretty strong. I remember like kind of the prices being. I remember ETH was a lot higher, obviously.
Yeah.
But like I remember as far as like the space there was quite a bit of derivative projects. I specifically remember because like I said, like when Hodge started DMing, like I remember him just being like, dude, this is such a breath of fresh air compared to a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing put out on a daily and weekly basis. So I think just Sean's talent and kind of his vision allowed for something really unique, like you take all the nostalgia of the project and the different traits, and then the fact that their walking was very new. You see so many top up kind of PFPs,
right?
So I think just kind of the unique spin that we were able to put on it captured folks' attention in a different way.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's pretty much what I thought when Devin was the guy who first showed me the Goonz, and he was like, yo, like check this shit out. And I remember at that point, I forget what, I think I was just focusing on content. Wasn't really paying attention to projects as much for myself to buy. And then I saw a couple, and then I like went down the rabbit hole, and there was like so many different traits, and I was like, God, it's so fucking nostalgic. Like, oh my God, I can't even describe it. And it's exactly that. It was a breath of fresh air. It was just so different, and I honestly still don't even see that many projects going for this style. I mean, here's mine. So for people who don't know, I am in the Goonz fam. Oh Jesus, hold on. This, and honestly, from the traits that I got it down to, which I cared about, which was the boxing. I love the boxing, and I love the face, and I love the backwards hat. And that was the only one in the whole category, and it was listed way above the floor. And I was just like, and I called Devin. I was like, am I really about to drop this bag on this Goon? And he looked at it, and he was like, yep. And I was like, all right, we're going with it. Let's just do it now. And I've got the pants. Hold on. I put these on right before.
Oh, nice.
Let's go.
Goonz pants.
So I gotta tell you, and this is a little alpha.
Shit. Okay.
The shorts trait on your Goon that you have.
Yeah.
Once that goes through the portal, it's one of my favorite trait changes in the portal.
Oh shit!
It's taken a lot
really
to not tease or leak that yet. But it's certainly
so these pants.
Yep, the pattern shorts.
Oh boy,
you'll see when you send it through the portal, but it's a fun new look on those shorts for sure.
Dude, that was gonna be my next question. I was gonna ask, should I send my little man through the portal, because I love this little man. And I don't know if you guys saw it, but I had this 3D model of my SupDuck created, and it's basically a figurine, and really really cool. I have the Goon coming. I bought a SupDuck and a Goon, and so my Goon's coming at some point in the next, like, hopefully couple of weeks, and I'm really fucking excited. But I was gonna ask, I was like, should I put it to the portal because I really love my little man, but I want to know, man. I want to know.
Sure. Well, we'll give you a little bit here. So, obviously, for those watching and listening, the portal is coming May 26th, so it's only a couple weeks away. It is a non-dilutive V2 version of our Goonz, and it's really a way for you to see the Goonz travel to different worlds and different Gooniverses, if you will. And this is just the beginning. This is just the first stop that we're taking into this new world. And our message to our community has been, your Goon can always return home. So it's not like you send it through the portal,
right,
and it has to stay in this new world or this new form. And we're also working on some pretty unique things that I am not going to share, that we think are very value-added reasons for folks to send their OG Goons through the portal. So some stuff coming in the next few weeks. Might be able to paint a more vivid picture on that, but we're working on some very fun things behind the scene. But more than anything, I mean, it's just a way for us to travel more into Sean's brain and his art styles, and see all these different ways that he can dream up the Goons, and we can continue kind of the art of storytelling behind them. So I certainly would send it through, especially to see those shorts. But
yeah,
Sean, you got anything to add portal wise?
What's that?
You have anything to add portal wise?
No, I mean, you said most of it. I mean, really, it's just, once we came up with that idea, it was just super exciting for me to be able to. I like to draw in a lot of different styles, so just reimagining the Goons is like so much fun, you know.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. And so you're coming with all the art for this one, right? So same style as the first one. You're just making a whole new set, new everything. And actually, we'll pull up this. I hope this one, if I go with this tab, you guys can hear sound. Let me know if, I guess, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully you can hear the sound. If not, it's still good without sound. But let's play this clip. Hold on. Oh, it's really loud. Hold on. Go full screen. All right, hold on. Oh god. There we go. Oh boy. Oh boy. Very exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff.
Yeah, we're super pumped about it. You know, we obviously wanted to continue to lean into Sean as our shining star and his artistic talent, but we didn't want to dilute the original collection. And we're really pumped about the storytelling and some of the things we've been working on behind the scenes to share with everyone as we roll out this portal in a couple weeks, because there's some real fun stuff that we're cooking up for the Goon Gang.
Hell yeah, that is super exciting. That is super exciting. And for the portal, I guess walk me through the planning and strategizing behind that, because one thing I liked about the Goons is kind of like how you talked about your origin story. You weren't really looking to promote and hype it up and all this stuff. You're like, look, if people like it, they can come hang out and vibe. And then if they like, they stay. If they don't, they leave. And I really like that. And so the portal seems to just be a way to just really build the name in the space and build the brand and kind of establish, like, what I feel like everyone needs to be doing, focusing more on right now is establishing not credibility, but establishing like, we are here and we're here to stay. And not that many projects have accomplished that. There's a lot of mid-tier projects, and then we have like the ultra blue chips, like the top 5, whatever, everyone else in here. And then pretty much everyone else who didn't focus on those things in the first few months of their foundation is down here in the dumps, probably near zero. But with the portal, you could have had another V2 collection like VFriends did. Why did you guys choose to do the portal?
I think it was mostly to do it differently, and that's a big thing of how we started. Like, what the Goons are about is like kind of innovating in the space, and you know, no one's ever really done a V2 that's non-dilutive the way we're doing it, and like changing the art completely. It's super interesting, you know, and it's fun for all of us involved. So.
True. Yeah, I mean, I thought the portal thing was very interesting. I think it'll open up a lot of ideas, especially once people get into the metaverse. I feel like it's a good little segue for people to be like, "Oh, like the Goons did it this way. That looked like it was good. People liked it. That's something we can incorporate, especially in a metaverse, like the way you guys are kind of trying to make this a storytelling, just like a story in general, and going into deeper into your mind and doing with this crazy, crazy art, which I don't even know how. I don't know how. I think the reason I've always dated artists because I don't know how they pull things out of their brain and put it on paper. Like I'm a photographer and I can understand that, but I'm just like snapping stuff that's already there. This is like stuff you create out of nothing, and I'm just like I don't get how it happens. And with the goons, are these just characters you've always drawn, Sean, or where do these goons come from?
I mean, it wasn't really. It was mostly kind of a progression of my art style, and more recently, I've been more influenced by like the rubber hose style with like my tattoos and everything like that. So when I was creating the project, I tried like a few different things, and I just one day just had the idea of doing like rubber hose full character style. And once I started drawing it, I was like, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And it kind of just happened. It wasn't like even planned or, like I draw stuff, and if it looks good, then I roll with it basically. So.
True. What tell me talk to me about the why can't I speak? Talk to me about the marshmallow head guy. Everyone loves the marshmallows, and I think they're cool. Why is everyone talking about the marshmallow heads? Is there something special about them?
I mean, I think it's just probably one of the most different heads, I guess.
Okay, so I didn't know if there was like a reason that I missed that you guys talked about like on a Twitter space like 4 months ago, and I just like wasn't in the club. I was
No,
like,
yeah.
is there something different? Like, do they like I don't know, like what do they do?
Yeah,
Everyone just loves them, but
I think it's just something so unique, right? Like just
true.
like all the different, like you mentioned, right? Like all the different traits that Sean drew for the collection, and just the I guess uniqueness, if you will, of a marshmallow head on fire. Like it just, I think it's something that just it really stands out, and that people are just like, holy shit, like I need to have one of those. So I think we have a lot of those in our collection. And again, just to kind of tie back to the portal, like obviously, like we as a team have been going through because the whole collection's done, and Jesse, our engineer, has been working on a lot of the engineering stuff behind the scenes with it, and he sent us a file so we could all look through the entire collection. And I said this on our Twitter space the other day, but as I'm looking through the new Portal Goon collection, it's literally like falling in love with it all over again. It's literally, it takes me back to the very beginning, and it's just like everything all over again. Obviously, you've seen some of the leaks and teases that we've put out, Cade, and I'm sure some other folks watching and listening have, but just the vibrant colors and just the way that Sean was able to reimagine the OG Goons in this new world, in this new form. Literally, I continue to be blown away by his talent, and I've loved looking through it, from a consumer perspective. So I'm super excited for everyone else to be able to do the same. And at the end of the day, that the portal allows, it's essentially 2 Goons for the price of 1. Obviously, you can only hold 1 at a time. You have to send it back and forth through the portal, but you can kind of pick on how you're feeling that day, if you want to be the portal Goon or if you want to be the OG Goon.
Very true. Yeah, that's gonna be super exciting. That's good timing right before NFT NYC. A few weeks before that whole thing happens, we get to reimagine the Goons. You guys have partnered up with Urban Outfitters, and I think you guys are gonna be at NFT NYC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, how much planning has gone into that? Are you guys excited?
Oh, so much. We're definitely doing a lot there. So it's been months and months of planning. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So. Obviously, we have the Urban Store takeover that is on the 20th, I believe. I can't keep up with the dates anymore. But yes, we have events going the 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. Some will be larger. Wow. Like the Urban Store takeover. As I mentioned before, Drew has been the one handling so much of that for us. He's the one who really helped secure that partnership for us. So huge shout out to Drew for all the work that he does. And then we actually teased a little something and announced it on our Twitter this afternoon. We're going to be doing a daytime soccer event with alien friends and Geoff over at Football Critters. It's going to be on a rooftop soccer field. at this place called The Ground in New York City. So there's some images. They didn't have a Twitter account, so we hashtagged it so folks could see it. But it's a really cool venue, so we're super stoked on that. We're doing something with howlers, kind of just like a little like chill art. People can draw, vibe, have some drinks, just hang out. So we have a lot of stuff in store for NFT NYC, and we're super pumped about it.
That is gonna be great, dude. I'm super hyped about that. I did play college soccer, so I'm gonna go in and I expect to score some goals in there. I haven't played soccer in a freaking minute. I've ripped both my ACLs, but I'm recovered now. So I don't know. Maybe it's God telling me I shouldn't play soccer. But I'm super stoked to meet the guys out there. A lot of people are talking about, or I saw, maybe it was a tweet I saw. I don't remember where I saw it. About you, Sean, tattooing some goons on people. Maybe NFT NYC. Is that like an event that people are looking forward to, or is that just something that like people can like book you for or something?
It's. I don't think have we announced this yet?
Maybe I just saw it in threads. You don't have to answer it. You don't have to answer anything you don't want to. You don't have to drop.
I've alluded to it, but we haven't officially.
Oh, okay. We don't have to talk about that then.
There will be some potential tattooing of some goons by Sean at NFT NYC. It won't be a line of people. We're not going to have our founder and artist spend 10 hours tattooing folks, but we definitely want to maybe do something where a couple people can get something done by the man himself.
That'd be freaking cool, dude. That'd be really cool.
We're actually also we did a contest recently. I'm not sure if you happen to see it on our Twitter, Cade, where we're actually in the process. I've been working with been chatting with the folks who won, but we did a contest where we're flying 5 folks out from the Goon Gang with +1s to come to NFT NYC. So we did a little contest where folks had to make a video, like a 60 to 90 second video about why they're a Goon super fan. And we got some really fun, amazing, thoughtful, funny submissions. It was super hard, but we ended up narrowing it down and picked 5 winners. And we're actually flying those folks out. So I've been doing Zoom calls with them this week and kind of figuring out where they're flying out of and booking their flights for them. So that's been a ton of fun as well.
Hell yeah, man. That is super cool that you guys are doing that. And I did see that. I saw a bunch of videos circulating through Twitter. I saw a lot of people making videos, which I wasn't used to. I don't really see that many videos on Twitter. A lot of people are anonymous. They just they don't really show their face on their Twitter. So it's actually really cool to see. And that, I don't know. I think that a lot of projects forget that you can really add a ton of value by doing things like that. It just helps build the brand, helps build the name, and people say, oh, like Joel, Sean, yeah, we know them. They pay for these guys tickets to go to NFT NYC. They're in the Discord chatting. And that's something it's almost like when Gary Vee talks about soft skills being important. It's almost like that, where it's just like those little things are the glue that holds everything together. And without that, you're just another project founder, and there's a million of them out there. And people are rugging. I mean, the whole Azuki thing just happened the other day, which caught literally. I mean, I didn't even know what to say. I was just like, I checked the floor and I was like, oh my God. I just couldn't believe it. Was like in seconds, it felt like. But it was, I mean, when you have anonymous founders who don't really talk, they share a couple things here and there. If anything goes wrong, it's mutiny. No one knows who you are. So what are your thoughts on the anonymous versus not anonymous in the crypto and NFT space, if you have any?
Yeah, I think we, from the start, didn't want to do any of the anonymous stuff. I mean, we've been out there showing our faces from the beginning because we want people to be able to trust us because we're really trying to build stuff for the community and for the brand and just take this thing as far as I can go in the right way,
Yeah, and especially for Sean, obviously he's an amazing artist and he has been his whole life, but he's not an amazing artist to everyone in the NFT space yet, right? Mm-hmm. So we really wanted to be able to kind of build up his name and his brand equity as an artist in this space, because obviously a lot of us who know him know how talented he is, but we need to introduce him to all these people in this space so that they understand who he is and what he's about and his talent.
True, very true. Have you guys ever talked about like what Sean and what Joel were like before the Goonz happened? Like what y'all were doing? What did Saturday afternoon look like? What did Monday afternoon look like before the Goonz took over your lives?
I mean, I think nothing has changed about who we are and kind of our friendship and our relationship. I would just say we're a lot more busy now. Our texts aren't as much about did you listen to the new Kendrick Lamar album? Did you watch the new episode of Atlanta? It's more, hey, did you see this invoice? Did you?
Yeah. Like, what the fuck is this bill? That's hilarious. That's
But,
funny, dude.
yeah, we still try to make sure, like we live, you know, about 4 hours away from one another, but we still try to make sure that we, you know, visit one another and kind of take those weekends to try to unplug and just, you know, kind of still be best friends and just do dumb shit and go play video games and, you know, try to not be completely swallowed up by the space. Obviously, as you know, it's hard, especially when you're in it, right? It's a whirlwind and it takes up a lot of your time. But
Yeah.
I think we've done a good job trying to, you know, stay true to who we are and, you know, just our friendship and still being able to spend that time.
Mm.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if what I've been doing has changed too much as far as like day to day, because I'm still just creating art all day, and that's
Yeah.
I used to wake up, draw for all my tattoo appointments that day, and then go to work and tattoo all day. Come home at like 9 o'clock, hang out for a couple hours, and go to bed and do it all over again the next day.
True. Damn.
I do that except I'm home now and I just draw on my iPad. So.
Oh yeah, you don't have to leave. Yeah, that's crazy. So so you met all these people on the team through Discords and stuff like that. How do you even keep together a team of people? There's some projects that have two to four people. There's some projects with 5 to 10. There's some projects with like 20 plus, and like, you know, VFriends I'm sure has an ungodly amount of people. But what is the way you guys did? What is the best things you guys like, best tips, I guess, for holding a team together?
Stuff.
You want to go?
I think it's just on our team, at least, like everybody has kind of the same goal, and we all really like care about the product and what we're building. And I mean,
It's like a core belief.
I feel like, yeah, that's been the biggest thing.
True.
Yeah. Just trying to, like you said, everyone has the same vision, same goal, trying to execute everything to the highest standard. You know, we have a great team, our core group, you know, with Sean, myself, Drew, Jesse, Hodge, and then, you know, like BK, he actually commented LF Goon a little bit ago. He's one of our community managers, along with Seng. We have someone named Megan on our team who helps with a lot of like the activations and things like that. She kind of works with Drew. She has a background in streetwear, and she works for Complex. She's worked for High Snobiety. So we have a lot of great people on our team, and they really just kind of understand what we're striving towards and kind of that North Star goal that we're aiming for. And, you know, we do team calls every week where we kind of chat about different topics and just, you know, it's really nice. You know, we wouldn't be where we're at without all these great people, and Sean and I certainly aren't blind to that.
Yeah, I was going to say the NFT Web3 work style, I feel like it's a bit different, but there's also a lot of similarities to just any kind of online job. Like, what is a normal day? I mean, there's probably not like a normal day, but like, what do you find yourself doing day to day where you're like, damn, again? You know, like, didn't I just do this yesterday? You're like, yeah, I did do this yesterday.
I mean, I pretty much already said I'm
the
just
tattooing
all day. I'm not tattooing anymore, but just like every day there's some kind of art I need to draw for the, you know, announcements or like the clothing brand, or it's just, which I don't,
just in charge of that shit.
Mind, you know? I love it.
True.
It's fun.
Yeah, that sounds fucking great for you. Jeez, that's like the move. Become an NFT artist, be really, really, really fucking good, and then just draw every single day. Start a project.
My you know, day to day has certainly shifted a little. You know, obviously, you know, running the socials for our Goonz accounts and doing a lot of like bookkeeping, finance stuff. So, you know, it's just a lot of different things based on the day. But I think I've had to maybe like learn the most, I guess, throughout the process. You know, like Sean's still doing art, Jesse's doing engineering, Drew's still kind of doing a lot of stuff in his field. I think we've all had to, maybe not as much as Jesse, but kind of adopt a lot more of a Web3 mindset. And I think that's been kind of a learning curve for everyone. But speaking for myself, you know, running a Twitter account, Instagram account, a lot of the finance stuff, I've had to kind of teach myself a lot along the way and fully, you know, very thankful for Jesse, who's been a tremendous help, especially on the social side of things. I always bounce ideas off him, and we collab on things together because he has a great mindset and just a lot of great feedback to give in that area. We have Ish on the team. He's an advisor. We brought him on early, and I was able to work with him quite a bit in our early days for social related things. So just really trying to surround ourselves with a lot of sharp people who can, wear a lot of different hats and, help us execute our vision.
Yeah, yeah. I guess that is super important because you got to have your hand. I talked about this in the video. You got to have your hand in like all the jars and be able to make sure everything's working together and having some sort of manager like person on the team. I think a lot of people until they've had to manage maybe look at managers and think it's almost unnecessary or annoying. But when you're trying to run something, you like the having a manager or yourself if you're the manager is literally so important because you can't get anything done. People will do something and they forget about another thing which needs to be done tomorrow, and the managing aspect is super important. Was the experience you had like in the past work, Joel, did that help you at all, or was there not much you could take from like the past job for this kind of thing?
No, I mean, I worked in retail for the most part before this, and I would say the one thing that it's like really helped me with is just being able to communicate, and I think that's such an important skill in any field. But
Yeah.
being able to share thoughts, feelings, feedback, whatever it may be, I think that's something that you can't teach. And I tend to be very long-winded. When I'm speaking or when I'm typing messages to folks in Slack or work-related stuff. But I always say I'd rather say a little too much than not say enough.
Yeah, true, true. So you guys have the portal, the story, the brand that's so important to everyone on the team, and really the core thing that keeps everyone together. Have you guys talked about, or is it something that's still kind of wrapped up the exact like storyline of the Goons, where they're headed, like what the exact brand is, other than surrounded by the art that people love and that bring a big thing together? Is there something that's like central to the Goons, like a personality trait or something that you guys have already talked about, or is that not something yet?
I think it's something we're still working towards, I guess, as far as like, because for me it's tough because each goon is so kind of different from the last. It's hard to like
Yeah,
lump them all into one story. So it's more of like their journey through like how they change physically, you know.
yeah, true. Oh, you, Joel, anything?
No, I mean, very similar to what Sean said. It's just you know obviously the portal's a huge thing for us, and it allows us to continue that storytelling. And I think um, I wish I could say more, but there will be things that on Portal Day on the 26th that I think will start leaving a little more breadcrumbs and hinting towards some places we're heading and some things you can expect. But I think always, even when Sean and I were kids, we used to always like joke about like making a comic book together where Sean would draw the art and I would help tell the story. And the fact that we're, really doing it in real life in this Web3 space through these, amazing characters that Sean created, it's still surreal most days. It's hard to kind of wrap your brain around, but it's happening.
Yeah, the NFT space is wild because it is creating, it's almost creating dreams for people who didn't even know that they wanted to do this thing. And then there's also people like me who have always wanted to be a YouTuber. And now like I'm finally like, okay, this is it. I can finally start and get something going. So that the Web3 general space for me kind of just symbolizes like true, not even like opportunity. Like everyone's always said there's opportunity everywhere, but now like there's literally opportunity like right over there and like right there. There's opportunity, like there's opportunity literally everywhere online, and there's
Yeah.
so many freaking projects that you can work for 10 in a month and just get some like reputation, get a little bit of credibility, get a little bit of experience in the field, and then you can finally hit up a decent project that you've heard of and be like, hey, I've worked for these 10 projects, I've got this much experience, here's what I've learned, like do you guys need another mod? And then you can slowly start to build your way up in that Web3 space. And it's just like they're leaving too much opportunity on the board here. Do you guys have any tips for anyone who are trying to get into Web3? Like do you talk to other people who are not in Web3 about Web3 at all? Is there a strategy for getting these people on board? Because everyone just tells me like, I don't know. No, I don't know it.
That's tough. I mean, I think like if I was going to give any advice, it would just be just do it. A lot of people are like, I get a lot of messages from people trying to start out and I'll help him out as much as I can. But it's also just like I figured it out. I just did research. It's not that hard to just start a project. It's hard to like start something good, I guess. But
yeah,
that's up to you. Like what good is subjective.
I think it really ties back to just kind of that little note I mentioned earlier about Sean and like how passionate and driven he was to make this thing happen, right? And I think if you have that, if you have dedication and you have passion and you're driven to kind of get whatever it is that you imagine in your mind out to the world, I think that that's the key to being able to accomplish it, because there's going to be roadblocks, there's going to be hurdles. We've hit plenty of them along the way, and I'm sure we'll hit plenty more. But the battles you go through and kind of those hurdles you have to jump over only teach you and make you stronger along the way.
Was there anything during that path where it hit you and you were like, what do we do? Like, was there anything that stuck out where you guys weren't expecting it maybe when you first started, or things that you've had to deal with that you just never in a million years thought you'd need to be doing?
I mean, Sean's
or just was it mainly that? Just was that the big one?
No, but I mean, Sean's this is a positive, so like not like a hurdle in a learning way, but Sean's Gary V interview was like a huge thing, like that we we weren't expecting. Like I kept telling Sean, like, you need to get your own personal Twitter, and he was like, oh, like, do I really need to, like, blah blah blah, and slugs. And the first DM that Sean ever received on his Twitter account was a smiley face from Gary V. Not a smiley emoji.
Oh my God.
Just the two dots.
That's so funny.
That's the first DM he ever received.
Yep.
That's legendary. You could mint that for $1 million. Damn, bro. That is crazy. So Gary V hits you up for the podcast. Or for the little interview. How long did he give you? Because I feel like Gary V is like, all right, bro, you got 26 seconds for your podcast. Go.
Yeah, so he was doing I was actually with Joel at the time. He was coming to visit in upstate New York, and we were listening to his last DNA show with Mumbot. And we were listening to it, and then like literally as soon as it ended, maybe 5 minutes after, I get a DM from him that says, "You're next." I was like,
oh my God.
He's like, "If you want to," and I was like, "Yeah."
Wow.
He didn't say when. That was it. He just said, "You're next." And then like, what was it? I don't know, a week or two after.
Yeah, I remember it was like right around Thanksgiving. I want to say it was around Thanksgiving week. Or no, Christmas maybe. You were going to get a Christmas tree, I remember.
Oh yeah.
And you didn't go because of the interview.
Wait, so they called you, like, can you meet right now or what?
That morning, like, I got out of the shower and I had a text or a DM from Gary. It said, "Are you good to go at 2:00 today?" And it was like, I don't know, 10. So I was like,
oh my God.
Yeah, I can be. So I had all these plans. I just canceled them, and then
when Gary V calls, you just cancel everything imaginable. I fucked myself with Gary. I basically after that SupDucks interview with Frankie, he was like, "Yo, man, like, I'm gonna hook you up. Just send me this highlight clip from the podcast. I'm gonna text it to Gary because he worked on VFriends with Gary. So I'm gonna text it to him, like, straight up phone number to phone number." And I was like, "Oh my God!" So he was gonna basically send the Twitter link, which came from me, so he'd be able to see my face, see my account, all this stuff. And I was super hyped, so I tweeted it and then copied the link, sent it to Frankie for him to send to Gary. Right as I sent it to him, I realized there was like a horrible mistake, like editing error, something stupid. So I deleted the app. Or I deleted the tweet, made another one, fixed the error, sent it to Frankie. He goes, "Oh my God." He's like, "I already sent it." And I was just like, oh, so, and then I was thinking, I was like, oh, I guess like you literally like can't like double text Gary V or something. It's like a cardinal rule or something. Like you can't take up two texts. He has no space on his phone. And so I lost the entire opportunity. The entire opportunity just went to shit. Yeah. I was just like, bro, my God.
I feel confident you'll have another chance, though. I feel confident you'll have another chance.
I hope so. It was a funny story. Like I said it when it was happening. I was in the Discord. I was like fucking low. I was like, man, are you kidding me? Like that is the dumbest error ever. Like I couldn't believe it. And everyone in this chat was just like like helping me out. They're like, it's gonna be all right, but like fuck. And then I was like, you know what though? Like one day I'll be able to, do a podcast with them and I can tell Gary this story face to face with him, and like that'll be even cooler. That's the one thing I can keep the only positive out of that entire story.
For sure.
That was one of the craziest things about that too. Is like Gary, like I have Gary V's phone number too. Like,
no way.
he texted me.
That's crazy, bro.
Like right before the thing, he's like, "Here's my phone number. Don't give it out to anyone." I was like, "Okay."
I can't believe he just gives it out like that. That's crazy. Oh my god.
I text him every morning a GM, and he doesn't get back.
Oh my god, dude! Imagine how many text messages. I can't even imagine what it would be like. Like I would really want to. I would love for him to bring back a real Gary V Daily V episode where he like has the camera follow him around everywhere, D-Rock, but like really stay and like have a 10-hour video where it like really follows through what he's doing. Because I want to know like what is happening in his actual day-to-day. Like he runs VFriends, he runs Vayner everything. There's like 12 different Vayner companies, and like he's bouncing around doing podcasts, flying out for keynote speeches. I'm like, where does this guy sleep? Are we sure he's a human here? But what was that interview like with him?
I blacked out. I don't know.
Was it live?
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh my god,
Twitter Spaces. So.
Oh no, dude! Twitter Spaces is the worst. I get so nervous on Twitter Spaces.
Yeah, it worked out though. Like as soon as we started, like Gary V talked so much, he filled in all the blank space. It didn't.
Sure.
It wasn't like awkward or anything, and I felt really more comfortable than I thought it would. So
very cool.
It went super well.
Who was on it? Was it just you and him, and then the Goonz Sam?
Yep, just him interviewing me. So
holy shit! Yeah, I feel like
one of the first interviews I've done. I've done a bunch since then, but like, yeah, that was like one of the first. So,
my god, dude, that is wild to have spoken to Gary. Joel, have you had the pleasure yet with Gary? With the man?
I have not. No, we let Sean do all that. Like I said, he's our shining star. I'm just kind of the man behind the scenes doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Sean's the face, and look at him. I mean, he's a great face.
It's a beautiful fucking face, dude.
The worst interviews, though.
The worst interviews. I feel like it's kind of like an art form almost to be able to talk and like say what you want the way you want. I'm still perfecting it. Like I suck at it. Half the things that come out at the end of the sentence weren't thought of in the beginning of the sentence. I got like part of a sentence, a couple words, and I roll with that. And then by the end of the sentence, I have to come up with something good. But I think, it's just like doing it more. It's honestly consistency. Like if I don't do it, if I could do 100 podcasts, take 2 weeks off, and then the next podcast is just terrible because I don't even remember what I'm doing anymore. It happens all the time. And Slug says you're a superstar.
What did real quick, Cade? Like just a little bit about your backstory? Like what kind of led you to like doing YouTube and like kind of like falling into this space?
So I had been doing crypto. I did investing stuff first, and then I went into cryptocurrency when I realized how boring investing content was. I was like, oh, you just like dollar cost your way into the Roth IRA. That kind of sucks. And so I learned about this crypto thing here and there, got really into crypto, had bought some Dogecoin in like 2020, rode that wave all the way up, was able to liquidate a bunch thanks to Journey Crypto's dollar costing my way out of the market videos. And I was able to actually do that pretty well. And so I had a bunch of money sitting off in like a Coinbase account. And then I had jumped in my car, quit all my jobs, and said I'm going to go travel for a few months and live in this car. And I had my camera with me basically and like some clothes and shit in the back. And I did that for 6 months living in the car. And about like halfway through that, or a little bit into that, I found NFTs. Crypto had crashed at that point. Like right after I left, market crashed. I lost like half my money or something. And so that kind of stunk. But then I found NFTs in the middle of a car ride to a national park. And I like opened up OpenSea one day, and I was just like, let me just see what this is about. They keep talking about Bored Apes. They keep talking about this other stupid picture thing. And I was like, let me just see what it was. Within 2 hours, I had bought an NFT, and then I had basically like made camp right there on the side of the highway. And I was like, I'm just going to be here for the next 12 hours. And then I just didn't stop. I just like 15 hours a day, just learning, obsessed, because I was like, this is brand new. Like this is for real brand new. And like 6 months ago, I was complaining because cryptocurrency was new, but like not really. So it's like, you're not early. If you're making crypto content, you're kind of late. And so I was like, man, if I could just be early on something to do with money, to do with thing that's interesting to me. And this is like what I'm interested in right now. And then NFTs just came about and I just got obsessed. start making videos. I was kind of upset with the NFT YouTubers at that point. All they were talking about was buy this project tomorrow. It'll go up to 100x. That was all the content. So I was like, okay, let me bring in another angle where I can attract like business owners, project founders, and make videos for a whole variety of people rather than just moon boys and moon girls. Because I feel like that makes better sense long term. And I've always wanted to be a YouTuber. I can make a brand out of this somehow, some way. And that's basically what happened. I started making those videos, review videos, in-depth analysis stuff, not so much buy this, buy that. And that's really what it's been. It's been nice. Like, it was a pretty quick pickup after 10 years of doing YouTube, nothing, like 300-400 subscribers. And then like, boom, NFTs hit, it got to 1,000 really quick. And then it's just been like a slow, steady incline. It's just, NFTs hasn't quite popped yet. So I think all the NFT YouTubers, we're all just sitting here like waiting. We're like ready on our rocket to go to the moon. We're just like, come on, motherfucker, go. Like, bull run.
Yeah.
Oh
No,
my
man,
God.
that's really cool. Can't imagine living in my car for 6 months. That's pretty wild. But yeah, man, I mean, I see you pumping out content, and I like watching all the interviews that you do with folks. So yeah, just wanted to hear a little bit about that because I didn't know a ton. So thanks for sharing.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the interviews are my favorite. I love doing it. Love sitting down with you guys. I sat with Betty from Deadfellas like a week or two ago. And it's like the best time because it's like, when in what other like parallel universe would I get to speak to project founders, people in charge of like massive brands and companies, which is like what I love talking about. And they're out there doing it, and I get to talk to them from like my bedroom right here and like ask them questions about stuff, learn things. At some point, if I do an NFT project, I'll have all this information that I've soaked up like a sponge and hopefully apply into all my projects. But shit, I mean, that was a great podcast. Is there anything you want to, any like shout outs to people or something you want to leave off of? But I feel like we just covered everything, unless there's some last minute questions in the chat.
Yeah, I mean,
No?
No,
Just Goonz for life
no,
type deal?
I mean, I don't have anything. I mean, obviously, shout out to the entire Goon gang, everyone in the community. Shout out to everyone on our team: Jesse, Drew, BK, Sang, Megan, Hodge, the whole squad. So shout out to really everyone. So
hell yeah!
Are we gonna see you in New York, Cade?
I'm 100% going to be there. Yeah, we got a lot of people, a lot of the YouTube people that I know, some TikTokers that I know, a lot of content creators are going to go. They just want to, I assume they just want to document it, have some fun out there. I'm super stoked. I'm definitely going to be there. I've been looking forward to, I forget which projects all I'm in that have events going on, but I'm really excited. I have no idea what to expect. I didn't buy a ticket for the actual like speeches and stuff because I don't really care about that. I'm just going to mingle and talk to people and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I was like, plus it's New York. Like, I'm not going to go to New York that often, and I love New York, so I want to just be able to run around. I'm there for like 4 or 5 days, so I will definitely be there and hopefully meet you guys.
For sure, we'll definitely link up.
Hell yeah. And guys, thank you so much for being here, especially if you guys have been here since the beginning. Y'all already know the code word is going to be Goonz in all caps if you made it to the end, so we know. And if this is not your first episode with me, if you've watched these Joyage Kingdom episodes before, I want to see OG spam in the chat for me. Or let's fucking Goon. The LF Goon is my favorite. I love that. That could also be a code word. So we appreciate you guys. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the kingdom, follow the Goonz. I have the Goonz Twitter linked in the description below, so make sure you follow everybody there. And until next time, thanks guys for coming on, and that was super fun. And until next time, guys, continue to enjoy, continue to learn, and we're grateful you're alive watching this video. Bye.
See you.